Hi, Fairfield. You're watching another exciting adventure of Fairfield 2.0. Today's adventure featuring Ryan Olson, Brendan Thomas, Ms. Danielle Wallace, and of course, Samantha Durfee. We're going to be talking about a lot of things today. We have a lot of people. And plus, we also have musical act later, Crystal City. So hang in there. They're playing tonight at Cafe Paradiso. By the time this airs, they will have played, and we'll hear from them just how great that concert went. But first, we're gonna talk to. Let's start over here, Ryan Olson. Ryan Olson, you are a many times Fairfield repeat offender, as in you return. You just can't get out of here.
There's a gravitational pull.
You try to go, you just can't stay away. Oh, and look, there's a Rubik's Cube on the table.
I wonder who brought that.
Ryan, what have you been doing lately? When you left Fairfield, when you left us in the dirt for Ames, you're studying some intense stuff over in college, right?
I'm doing industrial engineering and economics double major over at Iowa State.
Iowa State. Has it been a breeze?
I've been taking it pretty slow, so I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah, in a hurry. Were you able to fit in the Batman movie?
I did see the Batman movie.
Okay, all right. Keep that in your mind when we're coming back to that. Brendan Thomas, you have just had a really good year with the kids over at MUM. You were their you're their drama teacher.
Yes.
For lack of all these fun names have been applied to whatever the courses are, but you are essentially the drama teacher. How did they do this year?
They did really well. It's MSA, MUM's the college, MSA is the high school, but they did really well. We had 50 kids in the program, which made it the biggest program at the school, and we had 5 or 6. I want to say 6, and 6 of our 12 entries got honored at the All-State Festival, which is outstanding. So
wow.
It was a really strong year for the program, which was great because it was my last year.
Where are you going, and how dare you?
I'm getting my master's in secondary education, and then the plan is to go teach in a public school for a while, get some experience, realize what it was that I had back at MSA.
Not MUM. Are you planning also to teach eventually?
No.
What's your goal?
I eventually want to go to South America and do something involving like economic development.
Nice. And you've been studying that for a while, haven't you? You're keeping your eye on it, rather.
Sure.
Yeah. Speaking of economic development, how much you're going to Iowa State in Ames? How much of the bank gets broken these days for attending college like full time?
Well, it's better now that I'm paying in-state tuition instead of out-of-state tuition. Out-of-state tuition is like 3 times more, and that was not fun.
Right. Are you doing this is like these like personal questions about this? I don't mean this. This is more for the education of how it works as far as the state system. What is the range that we're talking about? It's like a yearly.
It's usually about for in-state. It's about $3,500 a semester.
Okay, so someone's and they have programs that you're able to defer payment and basically under loan setup and all that. Are you going to be, when you're heading off to get your master's, I don't imagine you're going to be giving them a lot of cash on the table.
My giant salary from Hershey School. No, I earned a bunch of credit while I was there. And so that's going to offset the cost a little bit, but yes, it's nothing like student loans. Nothing like spending 4 years to spend 15 years paying it off.
But think of the money you'll be making afterwards.
That's right.
There was there was always the whole thing with when people were becoming lawyers and doctors. They have these ridiculous amounts, but then again, these ridiculous loans that they have to be taking out. But then again, doctors and lawyers are making incredible money at the other end.
Right, whereas I'm a school teacher, so I still take out the ridiculous loans, but don't make the ridiculous money.
Oh, man. We'll see about that. Perhaps everything will flip around, and perhaps lawyers and doctors will be making the bottom end of the totem on that by that point. No. Never. All right. Never. So, Danielle and Samantha, Go Jindy.
Yes.
Will you talk about that for a second? What is that program? What is that?
Maybe I can tell a little bit better about this Gojindi idea. 2 years ago, I had a friend. She was also a mom at that point. Actually, no, still, but she is very, very busy. And we started 2 years ago with this idea to craft with moms all together and let the kids play, in their homes. So we just would switch off with moms and just bring some knitting, crafting, scrapbooking, whatever they had. And we just have fun, talk, have some coffee, some snack, and the kids would have like a, fun playtime. And so what I just said, this mom had a lot to do, and at that point I met Samantha. And actually I'm very pleased that we got together at some point, because this has been great. We just moving ahead. This project has been growing and growing, and actually at the point we've been in several projects, like the artwork we do the kids corner. Once a month we are on the farmers market. We're doing crafts, and every Saturday morning we're at the in the toy store Finneywigs to do crafts.
Oh, nice.
And actually now last week we got an email from the Roosevelt Rec Center that they're done with their summer camp, so we can move in there and start our craft cafe with an indoor playground.
Nice.
Yeah, so it went from a couple months crafting and wanting to do it together to us creating a whole craft cafe with an indoor creative playground.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've been putting it together, getting the business plan together, getting the funds together, doing fundraisers to really make it work and make it happen. And we've had a lot of support from the community, and just the families love it. So,
nice. And one of the fundraisers was over at Cafe Pete when you introduced to the world the group Haven.
Yes.
Exactly.
That was very sweet.
That was a lot of fun, yeah.
Nice. All right, where are you seeing this, where are you seeing this going? Well, first of all, you have to have your opening. You have to have your grand opening.
Yes. Yes.
Do you see the community, how do you see the community embracing it?
We are getting the word out more and more. So the people who know of Gojindi, the families specifically, love it. And they love the idea of it. Because we're going to have a cafe up in the Roosevelt Rec Center, so anyone can come and have healthy smoothies, drinks, healthy snacks, and things like that. And then we'll have a crafting lounge area, so parents can just sit around and converse, or they can do crafty things. And we'll have a whole craft area, so kids and parents alike can just find certain things and just craft on their own. And then the Creative Play Center, I describe it more like a children's museum, like a lot more hands-on, crafty, creative stuff, so kids can be active and creating at the same time.
And what's the age range?
It's actually from 0, because we have a toddler area where the parents can supervise their children, but we have also like 10, 11, 12-year-olds that just like to, just have fun.
And you'll of course be importing things into Fairfield that they'll be playing with. And
yeah, and we focus on recycled crafts. So that was the whole thing with Jindi. Jindi actually means...
Well, Yindi is actually in Czech language. Yindi means another time. So go for another time.
Oh.
So we started with that, like use magazines, newspapers, cardboard boxes, plastic, everything that we can find, and you can make really cool stuff with it.
Yeah, and in fact, I think I remember there were a couple of things maybe at the event that you'd had there. One of the things that I remember from the event was definitely the projected Fairfieldopoly.
Yes.
What is this is cool. What is that?
This is our next big fundraiser. It's basically creating your townopoly. So people can, just like the game, it'll be for Fairfield. So different businesses can advertise on the board and have their own spot on the board. Nice. And then the whole community can buy the board and, play their town, basically.
Now, to get on the board permanently, I imagine is going to be a little different than getting, let's say, on one of the cards. One of the get out of jail free type cards. What is your, do you have a price range that you're suggesting?
We do.
Okay.
So
And now, I'm not sure about, we're not supposed to say money, but we are supposed to say, we can say a range. maybe?
Yeah, so it's a couple different aspects of it. So there are the points on the board, so people can have their different place.
Right.
And those, just the price, so people can know, is $350, and they will get a board game with that. And it's like advertising, so businesses can use it as their tax write-off and things like that.
Ah.
And also promoting themselves.
Yeah.
And it'll last forever. So that's kind of an awesome draw too, you know.
Now you do have, just as the board game has, like, public utilities, I guess you have the electric company. So I imagine Lisco is going to be on one of those.
Yes, so
Okay.
yeah, we want Lisco, Alliant, different businesses that have been here a while as well. Dexter, Laundry, and just those kind of bigger businesses, Cambridge, anything that, really helps bring to the economy of Fairfield, as well as the smaller businesses on the square. We want to get them.
Nice.
The newspapers.
And of course, all 4 of our railroads.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And by the way, the good news is that we had Mike Halley here the other day, and Mike had announced that sort of by the fall we should be having our quiet zone.
Yeah,
I just got the email about that. I was like, when?
So the kids will be well rested when they come over to the facility. To this point, with people participating in the Fairfieldopoly, might you have events where you're going to have like playoffs? There'll be like different tables filled with
Totally. Speed Fairfieldopoly.
Yeah, perfect. Now Samantha, I've known you for a while now. You have come into my life at different interesting parts times when I've needed information. It's sort of like, gee, what am I going to do about this? And then suddenly a little angel whispers in, you are that type of person. I'm imagining this is how this got set up. Now, how did you angelize her? What was that?
It was funny because I wanted to work with kids, and so I was meeting up with Steve Cooperman, and he's like, you got to meet these moms who are doing this really neat project. And so I met Danielle and the other mom, and we just started talking, and just everything just kind of led to the next step, and we just created this whole new concept for GoJindy, and it's been a lot of fun.
Nice. Now, you lived in Holland. You told me off camera. You lived in Holland before you moved here.
Yeah.
This is not my psychic ability coming through. But does this relate at all? This kind of a adventure. Does this relate at all to things you might have had when over in Europe? Are there, in other words, is it more conducive to having? Is the environment that maybe you grew up in, was it something like? Did you have something like this?
My mom was really creative. Okay. Yeah, she did a lot of crafts with us. Not that my brother was so crafty, but I picked it up really easily, and I was for 9 years I was an occupational therapist in Germany, and I used for the kids I used crafts as therapy methods. So, and I was I didn't want to really focus on making kids happy, healthy, healthy, and that they could do the things that they need to do in school or at home. But I just love the way that kids got happy again, hey, I can do this, and this is fun, and So I wanted to bring that back, even though I really I'm just in the process of getting my OT license here in the USA. It's been a hard work, but I'm just I really am focused on the craft cafe. I really want to get that done because I just cannot wait till that's.
Now, is this is this something that once it succeeds here? I mean, you may even export it to places like Ames.
We would look at more big cities, something that would be more apt to be interested in something like this, like a Boulder, Colorado, or something like that, or a couple places in California. But the way our business is set up, it could be kind of what we consider franchisable.
There
in a
you
sense.
go. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, it is. It is a structure that can be, and we want to show people that. And I think once we're open and people are able to go in and really see some of the things we put together, just as far as even recycled lamps and lights and just really fun things like that, people will really be like, oh, this is so awesome. And we have things like child care and consignment for crafters in town. And it's going to have a lot of things that the whole community can be a part of.
Cool. Ryan, is that Rubik's Cube sitting on the table made out of recyclable materials?
Probably not.
Well, it's plastic. Can be, I guess. Ryan, how long have you been? Let's everybody who's watching this right now already knows you, and they have seen you do your thing. Both. I would love. Can you play a little with the Rubik's Cube and show us what your superpower
Does
is?
somebody want to mess it up?
Brendan, you've had experience messing up Rubik's Cubes, I see.
As the oldest brother, I have messed up many things.
By the way, Brendan, did you grow up here? You're in Fairfield?
Yeah, pretty much. I've lived here off and on since I was 5.
Where were you before 5?
I was born in Orange County. Then I lived in Silver Spring, Maryland, in the community, in the meditating community there, and then.
I'm not sure.
Distracted.
All life needs to go that way. Sorry, man.
That would take me like 3 days.
Where's the timer? Smack!
Oh my god.
How did you learn that thing you do?
You can learn anything on the internet.
Oh.
Ryan, no. Ryan, you're way too good for this. I've watched you. Come on, everybody who's gone to Cafe P from a certain period of time to another period of time, when you lived there as well as crew, you were the best. You were a great editor. I really appreciate you. You used to edit my shows, and and crew misses you terribly. So after the show, we need to go back there and keep you there. But with the Rubik's Cube, you have been such a. I remember you were training for your contests. And to watch you train, sitting there with the timer, it's like bam, bam. It's like one of those things. There's a certain point where I know you want to win these contests and stuff, but there's a fulfillment element to this too, right? Like,
yeah, it's mostly about breaking personal records. Even at competitions, that's what people are more interested in than actually winning, because there's different tiers of people, like at different speeds, and most people know that they have no chance of actually winning. So they go just to get official times and try to beat their official times. And there's a website that has all the official times, and you can type in your name and look up, and it'll show all your times and everything.
What's the best time you've ever done?
11.34 seconds.
11.34 seconds. And did that? What about during any of the contests?
I think my best in competition was 15.55.
Now, what ended up being the difference? Just the pressure of being in the contest?
Well, a lot of it's luck. I mean, sometimes steps in your normal method just happen to get done, and you can just go on to the next step, and that's kind of just luck.
Kind of luck. Can you mess up that Rubik's Cube one more time?
Oh, can I?
Oh,
It's gonna be real messed up.
Yeah. Oh no, it hit you.
So you know what's coming, right? But in the meantime, both of you and I'll bet you guys did maybe. Did we also have Batman? We need to have a Batman discussion. We need to give away the ending.
Yes.
No, we don't need to give away the ending. No.
Love when people give away the endings.
It was amazing when Batgirl came on camera. And
right
it's
out of left field.
I know, it's like
Never saw it
setting up a Batgirl franchise. Unbelievable. What did you think of the? It was the. We're getting him primed. We'll have this superfluous Batman conversation for another moment or two, and then we'll go right to the Rubik's Cube. What did you think of the? Without giving away the ending, did you guys see it?
Nope, I saw the other movie.
The other movie.
What other
Would that be Spider-Man?
No, the other movie playing right now.
Oh, you're talking about in town.
Yeah.
Oh. Shall I say? No. Okay.
It's pretty funny though.
There were people who kept wanting me to go to the movies. Like, I have no interest in going to that movie. Thank you.
Not a guy movie.
Not a guy movie. But it was. Batman was there. You could have slipped in.
Totally. At the end and watched the end and then told everyone the end.
It's like we will right now. Don't even think. But with the way that ended, we were hearing all of this. Oh, that's it. This is the last movie. No more. It's the end of the franchise. And yet we had that ending. So that we won't say.
Well, I think the major thing was that Chris Nolan isn't planning on coming back for another one.
So,
but that doesn't mean that there won't be another one. It just means that Warner Brothers will hire someone else.
There's been a lot of people that have played Batman.
Right.
There's that. But then it's sort of like rebooting these movie franchises every 5 seconds really sucks too.
Well, I heard that Chris Nolan is producing Man of Steel.
Right.
and Warner Brothers has been talking about a Justice League movie. So I wonder if Chris Nolan's going to be the
right
architect,
since he's
of
already
all of
made.
that,
Which
would be good. I would be okay with that.
Me too. I already saw the. Did you see the trailer for Man of Steel?
Yeah. It didn't look like a Superman movie.
It didn't, and I'm really happy about that. But I also don't want it to be a Wolverine movie. You guys just jump in anytime you want here. Did you at least see Spider-Man? No Spider-Man either. Okay, we cannot be rude any longer. But first, another word from our Rubik's Cube master, Ryan Olson. Please, sir, do you think you could solve the puzzle that is Rubik's?
I think I can probably do it.
Okay, are we ready?
All right, I'm ready.
All right.
Stopwatch.
Cheek, cheek. We finished. Now, I was counting, and that was only 9 seconds. So
I'm pretty sure you just made his
just made your personal record. How did you do that?
I made it easy.
Now, I was counting 1 Mississippi. 2. No, you were right. That was amazing. That was super fast.
That was really
Can somebody wreck that again? And one more before the end here. Okay, back to all things Danielle and Samantha. Actually, let's get a little personal. We talked about Gojindi, as opposed to any other name that I might apply. So, I want to know what your interest is. You have, Samantha, you have an interest in helping kids in general, because you've also participated in helping out, like, a certain facility in town. Could you go into that?
Yeah, so I'm sure it doesn't matter. I work at Optimate Services as well, and I work with one of their children's programs with some of the kids, usually after school.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of fun, basically kind of like Danielle was saying when she did her occupational therapy, using creative tools to be able to help the kids in things like social skills, or to help them with trauma or other things that are real issues for kids and ADHD and stuff, and see that these creative tools are actually helping the kids and building their self-esteem and giving them confidence. Nice. It's really, really cool. So, yeah. Nice.
Do you find, go to the occupational therapy for kids, what were some of the techniques that you would do? Like, did you have them, I can't put words in your mouth, but what were some of the things you did?
Well, a lot of times I had kids with ADHD, and they couldn't concentrate, they were distracted, you had to keep them, and I was playing with them, board games, but also crafts that will be, that to keep them on one thing, not to be distracted from other things. But also fine motorical, like writing, they came with problems like my kid has a hard time or cramps when he's writing.
Your child?
No,
the
children that came to therapy.
Because you also have children.
I also
We'll
have
talk
children,
about that.
yes.
Okay.
So, and what you can do is, their sitting position, how they have their hands on the table, but also like being more relaxed when they do crafts, more two hands things, all kinds of things. Really easy.
When I was growing up, centuries ago, or at least in the last century, I felt that one of the things that happened was everybody I knew, no one could concentrate, no one could really focus on their studies. But they didn't really diagnose that, or maybe they were just saying, they would prescribe drugs to sort of like keep the kid mellow or whatever. But it was never addressed like ADHD or anything like that. And then suddenly we started having the terminologies come in, and then suddenly I guess the research. The more intense research was spent on it, and then it was discovered, oh my gosh, there are certain kids which have learning disabilities, etc., or learning challenges, or whatever. Over the years, we're filled with a society of like maybe let's say, just for argument's sake, half and half. So we have maybe the older generations who are looking at that and they're going, bah, humbug. I was okay when I was a kid and I couldn't focus on anything, but I got through my studies, that whole thing. And then you have the other half who are actually challenged, where this is a really hard thing for them. And dyslexia is another thing. We didn't really diagnose dyslexia very well when I was a kid either. So I'm wondering, I mean, we are making giant leaps, and especially with research and spending more time with kids and more time coming up with therapies, et cetera, to be dealing with this. What is your prediction as far as the future? Where are we going with this? Like, does it get to the point where it's a little too minutia oriented? Like, I'm not posing that in any negative way, but I'm just saying, how far out can you take the study of how, you know, kids need to learn how to focus, so therefore you do this? How far out does that go?
Well, the question, of course, is where does it come from?
Okay, that's the one. You're right. You're right.
So, and it's still what you say. You know, there's a lot of research, like why are kids having this hyperactivity problem?
Right.
There's also this ADD. You know, where
the
kids are really like, you know, too mellow, too shy, too. You know, one says it is something in the food. Something says it's in the DNA. Someone says, you know, so you have to. And there's still a lot of research out there that's, you know, where does it come from and what can you do with it?
What is your personal feeling? Is it's a mix of everything?
I think so. Also a lot of parents they focus less on the children. They have to go to work, they're stressed, kids feel that too. They want to have attention, get hyper. You know, so I think also like when you focus on the kids, giving them structure, they need that, but also letting them play for free, you know, free play. That's also very important. What about food? You know, now we're starting.
How much sugar and caffeine
exactly.
can a kid have before?
Exactly.
But they're going to exhibit signs, maybe of ADHD, but really it's the sugar and the caffeine. It's like
probably, yeah. I saw research about that there was nothing with sugar and kids having hyperactivity. You know, so it's like,
okay.
I don't know.
However, I know a few kids who are so caffeinated that they have problems sleeping at night. They were up until 2, 3. This is the first, and to be honest, I don't remember doing that when I was a kid. I remember if I was up, it was because my parents were fighting in the next room. Did I say that out loud? Was it TMI? But I feel like if you've got, you've got kids who are like you said, it's almost like there's a level also of non-supervision that's going on, so that it's like, hey, anything goes, kids. Go have fun. And I want to take that to you now. At MSAE, as opposed to MUM, did you end up? What was the like with you had to have everybody in freshman year, right? Every kid is required to do speech, they call it, but it's the drama part. Right. So what is the what were your challenges with some of these kids? Because I know that they all meditate, but on the other hand, there's also a natural, maybe, a tendency to have,
well, certainly,
those challenges.
In any class, there's going to be kids that want to be there and kids that want to be there less. And for any required class. Anyway.
Such a positive way of saying that. He didn't use the word brats once. Kidding.
As a teacher, it's your job to reach out to the kids that think they don't want to be there. And fortunately, with drama, it's not math. It's cool.
It's playing. It's pretend playing.
But it's
a lot
playing.
Of for them.
Yeah, especially in 9th grade, kids are starting to think that they're too cool for playing. They want to be adults. And they have no idea how to be adults. And drama, I think, can be a really great tool to put them in situations that would be challenging without the consequences of that.
Because they feel like it's a safe zone.
Yeah, and also because it's role playing. They're playing a scene, but they don't have to. They're playing. I don't know. They're playing losing a sports game, but they don't have to feel bad about having lost when they go home.
Okay. Are those the type of vignettes that would happen for the most part? Were they all like uplifting, empowering?
Well, we did.
Everyone gets a medal.
For the 9th. Well, I mean, actually, this year everyone did get a medal, which was awesome. But
I have a different view of that, but
no. I mean,
I'm an old guy. First of all,
this year, each kid was in at least one event that got honored at All-State, so everyone earned a medal, which was nice. But no, this year the 9th grade boys did the complete works of Shakespeare in 20 minutes.
I heard that was an amazing. I heard there was an
Oh
amazing.
my gosh.
It was a really fun thing. But so they went through all the Shakespeare stuff.
Now they had a little guidance. Oh, didn't they?
Well, certainly, yes.
How did you, when you did that, just out of curiosity, this is like the sidebar, how did you truncate all of the, what did you do? You had
It's
like
play.
3 or 5 lines.
The complete works of William Shakespeare abridged is a 3-man play that is like an hour and a half, and I cut it down to 25 minutes. So I had some help there.
But still, you had to cut it down. Ryan, don't you wish you were like a freshman again doing this?
No.
There's nothing on earth that can make you want to be a freshman in high school.
Speaking of challenges, let's do this. I want to set the clock this time.
All right.
So
to go.
all right, so you tell me when you're all comfy and ready to go.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. 1, it's a 3. 1, 2, 3. Four and a half seconds. I don't understand. If you just keep getting... No, 21 seconds.
Oh,
If you
I was like, that was not possible.
We probably have to wrap this up because we have the very wonderful Crystal City who's going to be joining us, and here we go. Let's hang out for another 10 minutes. What the heck? We just got Jason Strong going. So we're good. 10 more minutes then. We in our 10 minutes, what shall we discuss? There are some burning issues with each of you. Now, we talked about South America before with you, wanting to go down there.
Sure.
Okay. Now, what are the burning issues in your life right now? Other than, the economy, obviously. See, I know where I'm going with this because I know that you were on Occupy Wall Street and all sorts of stuff. So you've got very strong feelings about certain things, right?
I think everybody has strong feelings about certain things.
Okay. Let me rephrase this. Is there anything that you're looking at right now, news-wise, that's got your attention?
Well, I'm pretty nervous about Europe and the economy over there, and Spain looking as bad as it is kind of scary.
Right. What about are you afraid, can there be a domino effect still?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not certain that we're through the worst of it.
Right. Now, what about there's a problem over in China right now, too, right? I mean, they have a bigger picture. I notice I've been skirting the United States economy. I don't want to step on anybody's toes here. We've tried to not be a political show. But China seems to have a problem right now as far as figuring out whether it can be the lender that it has been, right? Because it's trying to figure out its own population and its needs now, it seems like.
Right, and China has some interesting problems moving forward because they really can't meet the growing demand domestically. And so they're trying to figure out any sort of way to make that situation better for them.
Yeah, and it's interesting because also you've got now it's getting more intense. We'll stop right after this next thing. But it's like you've got trying to maintain communism, and it's going to be hard to maintain communism when you've got a capitalist sort of thing going on in order for the growth that they're looking for. So they've got a little bit of contradiction there going on.
It'll be interesting to see what they do going forward.
Yeah.
Said like a true politician.
I have. There's another future for you, sir. Samantha, what are you thinking? What are you looking at? It could be anything. It could be adoption.
Yeah, I decided not to go that route right now. But as you know, I was looking into foster care and adoption and things like that. And then I realized just how I put too many things on my plate at once. And GoJindi is a huge project, actually, and the fundraiser and just I love to travel, so being able to play with all of those things at once, I'm focusing on that. So.
Nice. Has there been have you gone for any kind of funding, any kind of grants or anything like that?
Yeah, well, we've looked into setting that up. So yeah, we are going to be doing grant writing. We have a 501c3 usage, and yeah, so we have a lot of things going in that direction. So
cool. And you also, just personally, you spread the net a little larger than not. You looked into foster care and adoption, and then decided, you could do a bigger, you could help more kids kids this way.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Sweet, nice. And you, ma'am, are the one that I had the conversation with that got me looking into adoption and foster care, and I do appreciate it. I made it through my courses. I had my social worker come over yesterday, in fact, and say everything should be fine now. I gave her the last document I needed to give her. And it's a couple of the cute things that they want you to do. One of the last things I did was you have to write a letter to the prospective foster care kid and the parents.
Oh, wow.
Because the goal is for reunification. It's
Right,
not for,
right.
you know, this is not your kid. Basically, you are the caretaker for a while, which is fine. I mean, that's a contribution
Absolutely.
just like anything else. But I've also been looking into adoption because it's like, what is the one thing that, you know, as I've been focused on career, I've let my personal life kind of, another TMI moment here, but I've kind of not looked at having my own family. And since the relationship thing has been rocky over the last however long, I thought, you know what, let's look into family in a different kind of way. And that's so after we were talking about it, that's when I started looking into it. And I'm very glad that I did. I made it through the courses. I did those 2 letters, like I was saying, and it was very sweet. The one to the parents was like, being assuring to the parents, to the birth parents, you know, taking care of the kids, it's going to be a safe environment. You are involved in all the decisions. Not to worry, just relax. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And and I thought that had its own value, and it's almost like you're talking to the adult in that way. But I found that, of course, the cooler thing was making the kids letter, because the kids letter, it's like, what do you say to the kid? How do you introduce? Because the age range is going to be anywhere between 8 and, in my case, 18 or 15 or whatever the deal is. I don't know. Whatever kid they need, is going to happen. So I was like, okay, this could go anyway. So I threw in all the stuff. It's like, hey, kid, you know what I did. You know, but you know, sort of like, I'm not going to throw that moment away. That's right. So, but also, I wanted to let him know. You know, it's like, you want to be in sports, whatever the sport is that you want to be in. You know, we'll be very attentive to that. There are going to be chores. You know, just no entitlement in this household. It was a cool moment for me, and I got to reflect on, well, what kind of a parent really will I be? It was the first moment of clarification for
Right.
them.
Yeah.
And I owe that, and I really do owe this whole path to you. We'll see where this goes. But
I'm excited for you.
Thank you. And I do recommend it for anybody and everybody who wants to make a contribution in a kid's life who's in the foster care or in the foster care system or you know, wants to adopt or whatever, because there are a lot of kids out there who need help, and I guess that's the commercial for the moment. Danielle, you have a family. How many kids do you have?
2.
You have 2 kids. Was it a big lifestyle change when you had your kids?
Oh, yes.
I imagine. What was it? What is it like now, doing, you know, getting involved in doing a GoJindy, and having your own kids? Like, there's something about that which is relative to your doing GoJindy, right?
Mhm.
What is the connection there, really, on the heart level or whatever?
I just like kids. You know, that's, if I could, I would have had 10. But, you know, it's...
Hey, you're in Fairfield.
Exactly.
No problem.
You know how much it costs. No. But I just, now they're at the age, my daughter is 6 and my son is 4.5. And they, you know, they can play. And they can play there. I can be with other parents. I can show other kids, you know, what to do, what they can do with crafts. And they just can be there. You know, they don't have to be supervised, actually,
Right.
you know.
And these are things that you're doing for the kids and your own kids.
Exactly.
Right. Wow. What are you thinking as far as the future? Again, I got to come back to this. The future, as far as GoJindy, we brought up the concept of franchising. We brought up Fairfieldopoly. But what are you looking at as far as like programs that you'd like to, with the broader vision that you'd like to introduce?
It's not only about kids in this GoJindy project. We would like, because we think that in the evenings it would be fun to have like moms in groups or friends, like girlfriend night out kind of thing, come over and do crafts. We can have people come over to show them something about gardening or recipe swaps, or, you know, just, or have a meeting from what they were doing at that point. So there are a lot of possibilities that we can do too. What Samantha already said, like childcare. This is a good way for an indoor birthday party, you know, or any parties actually. So there are different things that we can do at GoJindy.
Nice. Brendan, how are you going to change the world as we know it?
Well, I suppose my immediate change the world goal is King Lear is going to
That's
go
right.
up in a couple
You are
of
in,
weeks.
that's right. You're in King Lear, and I applaud you, sir. We had Andrew here a few weeks ago, and he was amazing.
Yeah, he's going to be really good in that part. I mean, that's what got me on board with the whole play is him playing Lear. I think he's the only guy around that could do it.
Oh, and this will change the world. So you
Absolutely.
You actually point out-
Anytime you do Shakespeare, it changes the world just a little bit.
in 20 minutes or otherwise. I love that. I love the concept of that. And Ryan, I know how you're going to change the world. Would you give us the honor once again of doing one last Rubik's thing? Wait, no, don't start yet.
Yes,
We have to
that's
time-
mix it up.
Mess it up.
It wouldn't take very long if I didn't mix it up.
Oh,
Super record.
but that's kind of cool. It's super record. Okay, on your marks, get set, go. Or go.
Yeah, that's exactly.
One hand. Are you watching this, Fairfield?
I ran into something that I don't remember.
Oh.
Should try to make his own the whole time.
See, it was the one-handed thing. You're like, yeah, I can do that one hand. Yeah. 4 seconds. I don't know. You're getting better, even in one hand. I love that all of you were on here, and we're gonna have the musical segment now with Crystal City. And let's reintroduce everybody. It's been a real joy. This has been a lot of fun. Had a little rocky start there, MUM versus MSAE, for instance. But we recovered. Ryan Olson, Rubik's Cube expert and future, oh my God, engineer, economist, all the above. Really proud. I'm really proud to know you, and really glad that you got to work on. That you fixed my shows when I was doing the radio stuff.
It was a lot of fun.
It was great. Brendan Thomas. Amazing we're going to see in Lear, and in many things to come, I hope, with your career. I've enjoyed working with you on those few things we did together on Way Off Broadway, and I love sitting back and just watching what you do. You're a really fine actor, and I appreciate knowing you. I appreciate knowing you.
Thank you very much.
And I appreciate meeting you, Danielle Wallace, who's this is the first time we've actually had some kind of quality time together, because normally when we're at Cafe P, it's like zip, 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 and then people walking in front of us as we're having conversations, or people. What I love about well, I'm going to throw in a little editorial here. One of the funniest things over at Cafe P is when you're trying to you're having a conversation with someone. So Samantha and I will be talking. We will literally probably be this close. Someone will come right into the picture, right over here, and it's like, oh, Samantha, I have to ask you something. And it's like, who are you? Go shoot. But this is our time together. I really appreciate it. Thank you for filling us in about Gojindi, both of you. And then, of course, Samantha, who changed my life not once, not twice, but 3 times. The second time with bubble wrap, and we remember that incident with him. I really appreciate it. TMI. But I really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much for having us. And now, Fairfield, don't go away, don't go away, don't go away. We have Crystal City in mere moments here on Fairfield 2.0. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, just like we promised, part 2 of another exciting adventure of Fairfield 2.0. And with us today, we have Crystal City. Crystal City, yes, they played here before at Cafe P. By the way, how many times have you guys played here?
Once.
Just once?
Yeah.
So it seems like you're
trip back.
This is your second trip back?
Yeah.
It's like you're Fairfieldians already. But let's introduce both of you, Sam Drella and David Helmer, not Helmet. We have an interesting story that's going to come in a little bit. I'm going to ask you about that one. How did you guys meet? What's the union story here?
Sam saw me at a show in Tama.
Yeah.
In 2009, April of 2009. And we had some mutual friends. And I was just playing acoustic because the band had broken up. And then like a couple months later, by like the end of by the middle of July, we were hanging out. Middle, late July. And then that's it.
Then we just didn't stop hanging out with each other.
It's like,
I actually just like came over one night
And then he never left. Yeah.
We're serious. There's no,
You know what?
that's no BS.
And that's all right. We get along, so it's okay.
all right, but that's incredible because you've now been together for what, 5 years?
Oh,
3.
3 years. Yeah.
3 years.
Not yet. Not yet 5. Jeez, give us a minute.
All right. What about those times when you're trying to be creative, or one has a creative urge, and then the other one is like, because you write together, right?
Well, actually, Dave does most of the writing, and then
Okay.
I write the harmonies on top of him.
Okay. What is the creative process like then from the beginning when you're writing songs? And
It's the typical cheesy thing that just happens.
Oh.
Literally, I mean, like, there's no schedule to it.
There's no schedule. Are you in the car and suddenly it hits you, or?
I don't write like that either. I'm just fiddling around. I just kind of have like I'll just be fiddling around on the guitar and the song will appear, and then most of the time I'll just record it and write it.
Okay.
What about the lyrics? Oh, the lyrics are tough. Sometimes they come and they don't make sense to me, but they sound good, so I leave it.
So it's about the phonics of it sometimes.
I guess so. Sometimes I'll take a minute, and I'll take maybe a week and focus on lyrics. But a lot of the times it's just like, oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
I can figure out what, I like to do that because it gives me a chance to figure out what it's about. Nice. I don't know if that makes any sense.
No. It gestates.
I just don't want to think about it too much.
Yeah.
All
right. And then Sam, you come on board. Then, by the way, it hasn't gone past me that you are Sam and Dave.
Yeah.
Kind of like a boy. And of course you knew that when you were getting together.
Came up a few times.
I only date Dave's.
You only date Dave's.
Exclusively.
Perfect. All right, Dave, are you? You had a musical history that involved being in a band called Helmer.
Yeah.
But there was a typo one night when you were performing someplace. You want to tell that story?
Sure. We were in Wichita, Kansas. First night of 2 nights there, and the club we were playing at put Helmet on their vinyl advertisement. There's actually, I think, 2 or 3 of them too. It was like a corner bar, so it had on both sides. So we're like, whoa, man, let's see where this goes. And then no one even came out.
That's the end of the story that I think is so bizarre to me.
No one showed
Helmet,
up.
Yeah, Helmet is was a major
I'd
band.
say there's probably 50 to 60 people there.
Yeah.
Which is,
Sorry,
when you're on the
Helmet.
road, that's
For Helmer, that was great.
But for Helmer,
we made good money, and they gave us free beer, and we moved on.
Nice. Now I notice you don't have. We talked about a flying V earlier.
Yeah.
You've chosen this guitar as opposed to a flying V.
Yeah, I've been playing an acoustic guitar pretty much nonstop for 4 years now. I'll play electric. I don't remember the last time I played electric guitar live at a show. I think we did a show at the Ames Progressive 2 years ago, and I played SG and with a little amp just to do something different. But
just mess around.
yeah, I don't know. I like electric guitars. I use them for recording, but I don't know. Doesn't work for this.
It just doesn't work. You're gonna play the Art Walk tonight, of
Yes.
course. By the time
6:15, I think.
By the time people see this, the show will have come on after the Art Walk. So how did it go?
It went great.
That's what I heard.
There were so many people there. We sold 100 CDs. It was an amazing time.
100? I heard it was 200, but then sometimes it gets exaggerated.
Yeah.
I want to. All right, let's do this. Let's leave you alone so you can actually start playing some music here. And in the creative process, I did cut you off a little bit earlier. I wanted to see. You were talking about you add on like harmonies later.
Yeah.
So you help in the arrangements of this stuff too.
Yep.
Are you going to be playing some of your favorite songs perhaps right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs, by the way, and I know we can't play it because of copyright reasons, but you guys do a dynamite version of "I'm on Fire," and I just want to put it out there. I did see it when you played at Cafe P, and it was really pretty amazing. So
Thank you.
But your other material is pretty cool too. So you gotta. I'm going to be sitting over here watching. Okay, I'm just going to be right over here.
All right.
This song's called "I'll Be Real Nice." Well, I'm staring tomorrow you'll change your mind. Maybe tomorrow I'll be real nice. This next song's called Fruitful. It's about concerts. Well, I was thinking of you and how we met. Well, I just got off stage, hadn't seen you yet. When you caught my eye all through the night, I didn't go to the after hours. So let's be patient, let's be nice, let's be fruitful, let's be kind, let's be patient, let's be nice, let's be fruitful, it's one of a kind, one of a kind.
Don't go home. Cold and alone. The furnace don't work quite yet. It's getting old, but the door is brand new, just like me and you. It keeps all the wind outside where it belongs. So let's be patient, let's be nice, let's be fruitful, let's be kind, let's be patient, let's be nice, let's be fruitful, just one of a kind, one of a kind. What do you wanna do for dinner tonight?